What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's TV review of The Stand, Episode 5, Fear and Loathing in New Vegas. Now, before we begin, hey, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit the notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button, as well as comment below on any video that you watch, including this one. Okay, so before I actually begin talking about this episode, there's one thing that's always kind of been weird to me, but I just wanted to kind of bring it up. This episode is called Fear and Loathing in New Vegas, which I actually think is a good title for an episode. But when you go to IMDb, and this is like the second or third time this happened as I've reviewed episodes, the episode's titled Suspicious Minds. And I don't have a problem with that episode title, but it's just weird that they go from one title to the other title. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. It's a very strange kind of nitpicky thing where, when you're trying to review a series, thank God I don't do the intros before I watch the episodes, because I would have called this Suspicious Minds, and then it's actually titled Fear and Loathing in New Vegas. And it's just a weird kind of caveat for me that just do they change it like at the last minute? Like, what is this, like a working title? I don't know, but it was always something that fascinated me and kind of made me weirded out a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. So I just want to kind of bring that up, see what you guys thought about it. But as far as this episode concerns, it's not a bad episode. It really isn't. It's not a good episode once again. But the stuff in Vegas, we finally go to Vegas finally after 5 episodes, is actually quite entertaining and quite fun and very, very different than the Boulder crew. We get to see Lloyd Henry again, which he's a very over-the-top villain. He's wearing 70s pimp clothes. We see, of course, Julie Lowry come back, and she is his girlfriend or whatever you want to call it. And, of course, we see Danna Jurgens, who is part of the spy crew. She's working at the Hoover Dam, and she basically has kind of positioned herself to trying to talk to Randall Flagg, which is giving her position of being a spy away because they're very suspicious of what she's doing. As we learn later on, Randall Flagg already knows that these people are spies, but this is the problem with these characters. They're so poorly written that they're asking questions that will get them in trouble, and they act like surprised when they know Randall Flagg knows that they're spies. And it's just another weirdly written section of the series that has just been an ongoing problem. And when it comes to Danna Jurgens' character, we know what's going to happen to her. We know she's going to get found out by Randall Flagg, that she's going to end up killing herself. And I think her character, as it moves along, as she kind of hides as one of Lloyd Henry's women, as she kind of sees Vegas for what it is, which is a very sinful city with trial by combat. We see a lot of people get killed. We see a lot of people doing sexual encounters and stuff like that. And we can tell that she's a very honest individual that is put into a situation that maybe is over her head. But the fact that she kept asking for Randall Flagg really put into motion that she wasn't a very well-written, very smartly produced character. And when she kills herself, I felt no remorse because she kind of put herself into that situation. And we also get Tom Cullen, who, of course, like I said, is one of the worst written characters in the show. And he basically just kind of takes the bodies back and forth, puts them in the furnace or whatever they do with them. He's a character that is just there to kind of watch everything, but once again, there's not much depth to his character, so I didn't really have any involvement or nothing really excited me about seeing his character on screen outside of knowing what his particular kind of trajectory is going to be, which is to find out what's going in Las Vegas. But I don't know. He's basically there to save Stu Redman at the end. So his character is at this point, it's over with. There's nothing more I can even talk about with Tom Cullen, because he has no real more investment in the series or in the book or the series at all, outside of saving Stu Redman. So unless Stu Redman dies in this version of The Stand, he's there to save him and nurse him back to health and stuff like that. But I like what Vegas. I like what's going on in Vegas. I like the sinful nature. I like everything about it. I like, the one thing I said from the very beginning is Alexander Skarsgård as Randall Flagg is he's the best character in the series. He's well written. He's engaging. He's scary. He's horrifying. He's what Randall Flagg should be. But once again, they don't use him very much, and I have a huge problem with that. He was such an integral part to what makes he's an integral part to what makes the Stand so powerful. And here we just don't get enough of Alexander Skarsgård. It would make it so much better if they would use him more. But as these 4 episodes that we have left continue, I think we're going to see him more and more. I hope. Knowing this series, we probably won't until the second to last episode, penultimate episode, The Stand. And I don't know. I really love what his character does here. I love how he's able to manipulate people into being part of his cult, which is a very real situation going on right now, even in our country. And I love Alexander Skarsgård. Nat Wolff as Lloyd Henry is kind of over the top and a little too much for me sometimes, but I get the nature of his character. I get what he's doing. I just like what they did in the original series a little bit better. I thought he was more realistic than he is here. So, but a couple of major developments happen in Boulder. One, we have Mother Abigail basically leave the Boulder crew. She does this in the book. She did this in the original series because she thinks she does sin. She thinks she has to walk away and not come back till the Lord wants her to come back. And probably it'll be a while before maybe a couple episodes before we see Whoopi Goldberg back. Maybe it'll be next episode. I don't know. I think she eventually dies in the book anyways, but overall, I've never really been on board with Whoopi Goldberg as Mother Abigail. She has a little more to do here when she talks to Nadine Cross with Joe, gives the whole speech that the Oracle gave to Neo in the Matrix. And it's basically all I have on Mother Abigail. The main focus is, of course, Nadine Cross and Harold Lauder. They are slowly, as we see, chess pieces are being placed and put forward, and they're getting closer and closer to basically setting off the bomb that will kill the people in Boulder, that will set off the initiation of the Stand itself. And it's I have huge problems with Amber Heard as Nadine Cross. I don't think she's a well-written character. Harold Lauder, really, his menace is fun in the episode. I do like what Owen Teague's doing with Harold Lauder, but the problem is a lot of these characters are so poorly written that you just get like little bits and pieces here and there. You get little bits and pieces there and here, and I think Harold Lauder gets the most to do in this episode. Once again, Franny Goldsmith is using him, which is the reason that he's become to this point. And I understand that, she has to kind of distance herself away because she's now in love with Stu, but she's never really treated him very well. She's like one of the worst characters in this whole entire story. And because for the simple fact that she's just not a very good person. She uses, once again, Harold Lauder to position Larry Underwood to go to Harold's house to figure out what he's doing, and her suspicions are going to be right, when he ends up, using the bomb and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's a reason Harold Lauder becomes who he is because of how she treats him. And I'm not saying Harold Lauder's off the hook or anything. I just think that sometimes she is a little too aggressive in her nature of treating Harold Lauder. And it really shows in this episode where she's using him, bringing him over for dinner and stuff like that. And the really creepy part about what Harold has done is he has put teddy bears with cameras, so he's actually watching them when he goes home on camera having sex. And then, of course, Franny Goldsmith sends Larry Underwood to spy on Harold Lauder's house, but because Harold Lauder is a little bit smarter than everyone, he basically has put bears or cameras all over the house, and he sees Larry Underwood in the house spying, which leads into the eventual conclusion of what Harold and Nadine have to do. Because Nadine also tries to, like I said, have sex with Larry Underwood, and because of what Randall Flagg has said, that she is his and that she's a virgin, he turns her down, which is kind of obvious in the simple fact that she's come to the realization that these people in Boulder are not her people, and they have to kill the people, according to Randall Flagg. And that's pretty much it on the episode. Like I said, it's about the moving pieces of the individuals in Vegas, the spies in Vegas, the ideas of what's going on in Boulder with Harold Lauder and Nadine Cross. The Tom Weizak stuff is kind of just thrown under the rug, because Harold Lauder and Nadine Cross know what happened because they killed him. And like I said, the stuff in Vegas I had a lot of fun with, but the stuff in Boulder is just, once again, just not there. I've kind of just given up on the fact that we're not going to see a lot any more like flashback stuff. We're not going to see any more of the past history of the Boulder crew or the Las Vegas crew. I think this episode would work a lot better if we had seen a lot of that stuff to like lead up to this point. And it's just such a shame. It really is. It's such a, I keep saying it, but it's such a painful experience to watch a book that you really love get turned into just basically mediocre crap. And to watch an episode like this, which is in essence a mediocre story in this episode with some interesting moments, really is disheartening when you think about it. So I'm going to give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, it's the best episode of the series so far. The next episode, of course, is probably where the bomb of stuff is going to happen. You know, we're going to see the death of Nick Andros, who's been a poorly written character in this entire series. The episode after that is called The Walk, so we'll see the walk towards Vegas to deal with the Stand. The next episode after that's the Stand, according to what the title's in IMDb. And then the last one is a Coda, which is, you know, Franny in the Well. I don't have no idea what that is. But we're getting to the end. We're basically coming to the conclusion, at least I am, that the episodes are not good. And yeah, 6.5 out of 10. That's what I'll give this episode. So, and one more quick thing that I just wanted to kind of throw in there before I end the review. I thought it was kind of nice that they threw in "Don't Fear the Reaper" at the very end. Whether that was a conscious decision or not a conscious decision of the original series, which the song "Don't Fear the Reaper" actually started out the original series. It's just a nice touch. It's a nice nod. You know, the song fits very, very well into Stephen King's The Stand. And it was just nice to see. I chuckled a little bit. I thought about Will Ferrell and Christopher Walken. But overall, it actually gave the end of the episode a little more menace by throwing that song in there, but it was just nice to see. So that's all I have on that. I just thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, that'll do it. That'll be my take on The Stand episode 5, Fear and Loathing in New Vegas. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you love the series, that's perfectly all right. Also, thank you to everyone helping me out with the Franny situation with her pregnancy. Like I said, I couldn't honestly remember, but somebody was actually able to give me the information on that. But otherwise, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode. But if you like what you see on this channel, of course, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, as always, awesome. Hit that like button. And, of course, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.